안녕하세요. 오늘도 수업에 오신 여러분들을 환영합니다. 저는 오늘 개념 설명을 해줄 이경 선생님입니다. 그럼 오늘도 활기차게 수업을 시작해 볼까요? 네, 좋습니다. 그럼 저번 시간에 배웠던 내용부터 복습하고 시작하겠습니다. 저번 시간에는 무엇을 배웠는지 기억나시나요? 네, 기 때문에를 배웠었죠? 그럼 기 때문에의 의미부터 알아볼게요. 기 때문에는 이유를 나타냅니다. 그리고 글이나 격식적인 상황에서 주로 사용하죠. 기 때문에 is used when expressing the reasons or cause of some fact. It means because. It is often used in writing or formal speech. Even in speaking, it is usually used when explaining at the beginning of the conversation rather than when answering a question. 예시를 통해 확인해 볼까요? 회사가 집에서 멀어요. 일찍 출근해요. 두 문장이 있습니다. 뒤에 문장을 봐주세요. 일찍 출근해요. 왜요? 회사가 집에서 멀기 때문이에요. 앞 문장이 일찍 출근하는 이유를 의미합니다. 이때 두 문장을 기 때문에로 연결시키면 회사가 집에서 멀기 때문에 일찍 출근해요가 됩니다. I go to work early because the company is far from home. 이렇게 저번 시간에 배운 내용을 간단하게 복습해 봤는데요. 다시 기억나시나요? 그럼 오늘의 개념을 배우는 시간을 가지겠습니다. 오늘 배울 개념은 했으면 좋겠다입니다. The concept we will learn today is I wish 했으면 좋겠다. 했으면 좋겠다. 표현이 조금 길긴 하지만 전혀 어렵지 않으니 마음을 열고 배워보세요. 그럼 했으면 좋겠다의 의미를 볼게요. 했으면 좋겠다는 바람이나 소망을 이야기할 때 사용합니다. 간단하죠? 다시 말하면 내가 무언가를 하고 싶다고 생각할 때 이 표현을 사용해서 이야기를 할 수 있습니다. 그럼 예문을 보도록 할게요. 이번 여름은 좀 시원했으면 좋겠어요. 이 문장에서 시원하다 라는 단어에 했으면 좋겠어요를 붙여서 시원했으면 좋겠어요 라고 표현을 했는데요. 시원했으면 좋겠어요는 소망을 이야기합니다. 이 문장을 다른 말로 해석해보면 이번 여름은 시원하길 바라는 의미의 문장이 됩니다. Then let's look at the example to understand. 이번 여름은 좀 시원했으면 좋겠어요. In this sentence, I added 했으면 좋겠어요 to the word 시원하다 and expressed it as 시원했으면 좋겠어요. If you interpret this sentence in another way, it becomes a sentence that means you wish it to be cool this summer. 다음 예문도 보겠습니다. 좀 쉬었으면 좋겠어요. 이 문장에서는 쉬다 라는 단어에 었으면 좋겠어요를 붙여서 쉬었으면 좋겠어요가 되는데요. 이 문장도 마찬가지로 소망을 이야기하는 문장입니다. 이 문장을 다른 말로 해석하면 쉬고 싶다는 의미의 문장이 되겠죠? 했으면 좋겠다 라는 표현은 소망을 이야기할 때 사용하는 표현이란 것 기억해 주시면 되겠습니다. 그럼 표현의 결합 형태를 보겠습니다. 했으면 좋겠다는 동사, 형용사와 함께 결합해서 사용되는데요. 총 3가지 경우에 따라서 형태가 달라집니다. Then, let's look at the combination of expressions. It is used in combination with verbs, adjective to say 했으면 좋겠다. And the form changes depending on the total of three cases. 첫 번째, 어간의 모음이 아 또는 오로 끝나는 경우. 두 번째, 어간의 모음이 아, 오가 아닌 나머지 모음으로 끝나는 경우. 세 번째, 하다로 끝나는 경우. 이렇게 총 세 가지의 경우에 따라 형태가 달라집니다. When a vowel in the first stem ends with a or o, when a vowel in the second stem ends with a vowel other than a, o, and when in the third ends with hada, in all three cases, the form is different. 그럼 첫 번째 형태부터 보겠습니다. 어간의 모음이 아 또는 오로 끝나는 경우에는 앗 쓰면 좋겠다를 결합합니다. 앗, 햇이 이 세 가지 중에 앗을 사용해서 쓰면 좋겠다를 결합하는 것입니다. 그럼 예시를 볼게요. 작다라는 형용사가 있는데요. 형용사 작다의 어간이 아로 끝난 거 보이시죠? 네, 그래서 다를 지우고 쓰면 좋겠다를 결합해서 작았으면 좋겠다가 되었습니다. 어렵지 않죠? So, let's see an example. There is an adjective called 작다. Can you see that the stem of the adjective 작다 ends with a? Yes. So I deleted the and combined 쓰면 좋겠다 to become 작았으면 좋겠다. It's easy, right? 예시 하나 더 보겠습니다. 여기 보다라는 동사가 있는데요. 동사 보다의 어간의 모음이 오로 끝난 거 보이시나요? 아 또는 오로 끝이 나면 쓰면 좋겠다를 결합한다고 했으니까 다를 지우고 쓰면 좋겠다를 붙이면 봤으면 좋겠다가 됩니다. 모두 이해되시나요? Let's see one more example. There is a verb 보다 here. Can you see that the root vowel of the verb 보다 ends with o? If it ends in a or o, you delete the 다 and add 쓰면 좋겠다. And it becomes 봤으면 좋겠다. Does everyone understand? 네, 다음 두 번째. 어간의 모음이 또는 오가 아닌 나머지 모음으로 끝나는 경우에는 쓰면 좋겠다를 결합합니다. has 중에 엇을 결합하는 것입니다. 예시를 볼게요. 넓다라는 형용사가 또는 오가 아닌 나머지 모음인 어로 끝이 났죠. 그럼 넓다에서 다를 지우고 쓰면 좋겠다를 붙이면 넓었으면 좋겠다가 됩니다. Let's see an example. The adjective 넓다 ends with a vowel instead of a or o, right? Then if you delete the 다 from 넓다 and add 었으면 좋겠다, it becomes 넓었으면 좋겠다. 예시 한 가지를 더 볼게요. 읽다 라는 동사가 또는 오가 아닌 나머지 모음 이로 끝났죠. 그럼 읽다에서 다를 지우고 었으면을 붙여서 읽었으면 좋겠다가 됩니다. Let's look at one more example. The verb to read ends with a vowel not a or o, right? Then delete the from read and from 읽다 and add I wish to read. 네, 그럼 마지막 형태 하다로 끝나는 경우를 보겠습니다. 하다로 끝나는 경우에는 하다를 지우고 했으면 좋겠다를 결합합니다. had 중에서 has을 사용해서 결합하는 것입니다. 예시를 보겠습니다. 편하다라는 형용사가 하다로 끝이 났죠? 그럼 편하다에서 하다를 지우고 했으면 좋겠다를 붙여서 편했으면 좋겠다가 됩니다. 이해되시나요? Let's see an example. The adjective 편하다 ends in 하다, right? Then delete 하다 from 편하다 and add 했으면 좋겠다 to make it 편했으면 좋겠다. Wish it was easier. Do you understand? 그럼 예시 한 가지를 더 볼게요. 동사 운동하다가 하다로 끝이 났죠? 그럼 운동하다에서 하다를 지우고 했으면 좋겠다를 붙여서 운동했으면 좋겠다가 됩니다. So let's look at one more example. Does the verb 운동하다 end with 하다? Then from 운동하다, delete 하다 and add 했으면 좋겠다 to make it 운동했으면 좋겠다. 이렇게 세 가지의 결합 형태를 모두 배워보았는데요. 이제 예문을 보면서 의미와 형태를 동시에 확인해 보겠습니다. 첫 번째 예문부터 볼게요. 지금 살고 있는 집은 어때요? 조금 좁아요. 더 넓었으면 좋겠어요. 네, 이 예문에서 B가 집이 더 넓었으면 좋겠다고 이야기하고 있는데요. 소망을 이야기할 때 사용하는 표현인 아덧 했으면 좋겠다를 사용했죠. 그래서 더 넓은 집으로 가기를 소망하는 문장이 되었습니다. Yes, in this example, B said that he would like the house to be bigger. Did he use the expression 아덧 했으면 좋겠다, which is used when talking about wishes? So it becomes a sentence wishing to go to a bigger house. 그리고 아덧 했 중에서 어을 사용해서 어쓰면 좋겠어요를 결합했는데 넓다라는 형용사의 어간의 모음이 어로 끝나기 때문에 어쓰면 좋겠어요를 결합해서 넓었으면 좋겠어요가 됩니다. 모두 이해되시나요? And combined 어쓰면 좋겠어요 by using since the root vowel of the adjective 넓다 ends in was combined to make it 넓었으면 좋겠어요. Does everyone understood? 그럼 두 번째 예문을 보겠습니다. 숙제로 5문제 풀어보기 어때요? 너무 적어요. 더 많았으면 좋겠어요. 네, 이 예문에서 B가 숙제가 더 많았으면 좋겠다고 이야기했죠? 했으면 좋겠어요는 소망을 이야기할 때 사용하는 표현이라고 했으니까 이 문장은 숙제를 더 많이 하고 싶다는 소망을 나타내는 문장인 것을 알 수 있습니다. Yes, in this example, did B say he would like more homework? You can say that this sentence is a sentence expressing a wish to do more homework because he said that 했으면 좋겠어요 is an expression used when talking about a wish. 그리고 아덧 had 중에서 as으면 좋겠어요를 결합했는데요. 많다라는 형용사의 어간이 또는 오가 아닌 어로 끝났기 때문에 as으면 좋겠어요를 붙여서 많았으면 좋겠어요가 되었습니다. And I combined as으면 좋겠어요 among the lines of had since the root of the adjective 많다 ends with not or o. as으면 좋겠어요 was added to make 많았으면 좋겠어요. 마지막 예문을 볼게요. 지금 뭐 하고 싶어요? 저는 지금 운동을 했으면 좋겠어요. 이 예문에서 B가 운동을 했으면 좋겠어요 라고 이야기했어요. 그래서 운동을 하길 소망하는 의미의 문장이 되었습니다. In this example, did you say that you want B to exercise? So it becomes a sentence with the meaning of wishing to exercise. 그리고 I thought had 중에서 했으면 좋겠어요. 를 결합했는데요. 동사 운동하다가 하다로 끝났으니까 운동하다에서 하다가 사라지고 했으면 좋겠어요 가 붙어서 운동했으면 좋겠어요 가 되었습니다. And I combined 했으면 좋겠어요 among the other had, but since the verb 운동하다 ends with 하다, 하다 disappears from 운동하다 and 했으면 좋겠어요 was added to make 운동했으면 좋겠어요. 네, 이렇게 오늘 문법 아덧 했으면 좋겠다를 배워보았는데요. 이제는 문제풀이 시간을 통해서 연습하는 시간을 가져보겠습니다. 그러면 문제풀이 선생님 나와주세요.
안녕하세요, 여러분. 오늘 함께 문제풀이를 할 유진 선생님,
그리고 지용 선생님입니다.
앞 시간에서 개념을 잘 이해하고 오셨나요? 그럼 이해를 잘 한 것이 맞는지 확인하기 위해서 함께 문제를 열심히 풀어보도록 하겠습니다.
그럼 규칙 문제 먼저 풀어보도록 하겠습니다. 알맞은 것을 골라 바꿔 써주시면 되고 보기의 번호를 보고 정답을 채팅으로 보내주세요. 그럼 시작해 볼까요? So, let's solve the fundamental problem first. You can choose the appropriate one and change it. And when you see the number in the example and say, send the correct answer, you can post the correct answer in the chat room. So, shall we begin? 첫 번째 문제입니다. 저는 한국 친구가 별로 없어요. 한국 친구가 빈칸 좋겠어요.
빈칸에는 보기 중에서 어떤 것이 정답이 될까요? 5초 드릴 테니 생각해 보시고 정답을 보내주세요. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡. 모두 정답을 찾으셨나요? 그럼 확인 먼저 해볼게요. 정답은 4번, 많다입니다. 그런데 빈칸에 많다를 집어넣으면 한국 친구가 많다 좋겠어요. 흐름이 이상한 것이 느껴지나요? 네, 많다를 바꿔서 빈칸을 채워줘야겠죠? 그럼 오늘 배운 개념을 사용해서 바꿔보도록 할게요.
문장을 보니 한국 친구가 많이 있기를 바라는 소망을 이야기하고 있는 것 같죠? 그래서 했으면 좋겠다 문법을 사용할 수 있는데요. had 중에서 어떤 것을 사용해야 하는지 기억나시나요? 네, 마지막 글자가 또는 오로 끝나는 것은 at을 사용한다고 했죠? 그래서 많다와 at으면을 합쳐서 많았으면이 되겠네요. We said that the last letter ending in a or o uses at, right? So, by combining 많다 and at으면, it would be 많았으면.
이해가 가시나요? 그럼 문법을 사용해서 알맞게 바꾼 것으로 문장을 채워보면 한국 친구가 많았으면 좋겠어요가 되겠네요. 이렇게 소망을 나타낼 때는 어떻게 바꿔서 표현할 수 있는지 아시겠나요? 네, 좋습니다. 그럼 다음 문제 볼게요. 내일 친구가 결혼해요. 내일 날씨가 빈칸 좋겠어요.
빈칸에 들어갈 알맞은 정답을 찾아주세요. 5초 드리겠습니다. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡. 찾으셨나요? 정답을 먼저 찾아보면 3번 좋다입니다. 그럼 바로 빈칸에 넣으면 될까요?
네, 아니죠. 내일 날씨가 좋기를 바라는 소망을 나타내고 있으니 문법을 사용해서 써줘야겠죠?
네, 그래서 알맞은 형태로 바꾸어 보면 아 또는 오로 끝나고 있으니까 at 음연을 사용해야겠죠? 그래서 좋다와 았으면을 결합해 보면 좋았으면이 되겠습니다. Yes, if you change it to an appropriate from since form, since it ends in a or o, you should use 았으면, right? So, if you combine 좋다 and 았으면, it would be 좋았으면. 네, 이렇게 문장을 완성해 보면 내일 날씨가 좋았으면 좋겠어요 하면서 소망을 나타내는 문장이 됩니다.
한번 세 번째 문제도 풀어볼까요? 이번 주에 시험이 있어요. 시험을 잘 빈칸 좋겠어요. 빈칸 안에 들어갈 것을 찾아주세요. 5초 드릴게요. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡. 네, 정답을 확인해 보면 2번 보다입니다.
이것도 문장과 어울리는 형태로 바꾸어줘야겠죠? 시험을 잘 보기를 소망하고 있으니까 이것도 마찬가지로 했으면 좋겠어요를 사용할 수 있습니다. 아 또는 오로 끝나는 단어는 무엇을 사용한다고 했죠? 네, 았으면이었죠? 그래서 보다와 았으면을 합쳐보면 보았으면이 됩니다. What did he say to we use for words ending in a or o? Yes, it was 았으면. So, if you combine 보다 and 았으면, it becomes 보았으면.
여기에서 보았으면 보다 보와 at을 합쳐서 봤으면으로 많이 사용하니까 알아두시면 되겠습니다. Here, 보 and at are used more often as 봤으면 rather than 보았으면. So, please be aware. 그래서 정리해보면 시험을 잘 봤으면 좋겠어요가 됩니다. 그럼 규칙의 마지막 문제 풀어볼게요. 다음 주 수요일이 제 생일이에요. 친구들한테서 선물을 많이 빈칸 좋겠어요. 빈칸 안에 들어갈 것을 찾아주세요. 5초 드릴게요. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡. 네, 정답을 확인해 보면 1번 봤다입니다.
마찬가지로 봤다를 알맞은 형태로 바꾸어줘야겠죠? 규칙 문제이니까 이번에도 았으면을 사용해서 봤다와 합쳐주면 받았으면이 됩니다. 그래서 정리해보면 친구들한테서 선물을 많이 받았으면 좋겠어요가 됩니다. So, if I summarize, it becomes I hope I get a lot of present from my friends.
네, 이렇게 앗으면만을 사용해서 규칙적인 문제를 풀어봤는데요. 이번엔 불규칙적인 문제를 풀어볼게요. This time I will try to solve the irregular problem. 첫 번째 문제입니다. 저는 클래식 음악 듣는 것을 아주 좋아해요. 클래식 음악을 매일 빈칸에 들어갈 알맞은 보기는 무엇일까요? 저희가 5초 세는 동안 정답을 보내주세요. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡.
네, 그럼 정답을 확인해 보도록 하겠습니다. 정답은 3번 듣다입니다. 정답을 찾았으니 바로 빈칸에 넣으면 될까요? 아니죠? 알맞은 표현으로 바꿔야겠죠? 문장의 흐름을 보니까 클래식을 좋아해서 매일 듣기를 소망하고 있다는 걸 알 수 있어요. 그러니까 had 쓰면 좋겠다 문법을 사용해야겠죠? 그럼 듣다에는 at, hat 중에서 어떤 걸 사용해야 될까요?
아 또는 오가 아니라 그 외 것인 으가 마지막으로 사용되었네요. 그러면 얻으면과 결합할 수 있어요. 그래서 듣다와 얻으면이 더해져서 들었으면이 됩니다. Not a or o, but 으 was used last. Then you can combine it with 얻으면. So I want you to combine 듣다 and 얻으면. It becomes 들었으면. 정리해보면 클래식 음악을 매일 들었으면 좋겠어요가 됩니다. 그럼 두 번째 문제 볼게요. 윤호 씨가 감기에 걸려서 아프대요. 빨리 빈칸.
빈칸 안에 들어갈 것을 찾아주세요. 5초 드릴게요.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡.
네, 정답을 보면 2번 낫다입니다. 그럼 문장과 어울리도록 형태를 바꿔줘야겠죠? at, hat 쓰면 중에서 어떤 것을 사용해야 할지 어떻게 알죠?
네, 낫다를 보면 아로 끝나는 거 보이시죠? 그래서 아 또는 오로 끝나는 것은 앗으면을 사용해서 바꿔줍니다. 그래서 나았으면으로 바꿔서 빈칸에 넣어줄 수 있겠네요. If you look at 낫다, you can see that it ends with a. So, if it ends with a or o, change it by using 앗으면. So, you can change it to 나았으면 and put it in the blank. 그럼 윤호 씨가 감기에 걸려서 아프대요. 빨리 나았으면 좋겠어요. 라고 문장을 완성할 수 있겠습니다.
모두 잘 따라오고 계신가요? 그럼 오늘의 마지막 유형 부정 문제를 풀어보도록 할게요. Let's try to solve the negative problem. 알맞은 것을 골라 바꿔 써주시면 됩니다. 보기를 보고 정답을 찾아서 보내주세요. 그러면 첫 번째 문제 보겠습니다.
이번 시험에서 좋은 성적을 받아야 해요. 이번 시험이 빈칸. 빈칸에 들어갈 알맞은 보기는 무엇일까요? 5초 드릴 테니 정답을 찾아주세요. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡. 모두 찾으셨나요? 그럼 정답 먼저 같이 확인해 볼게요.
정답은 2번 어렵다입니다. 여기에서 부정으로 나타내야 하니까 안 어렵다로 바꿔줘야 합니다. 그럼 이번 시험에서 좋은 성적을 받아야 하니까 이번 시험이 어렵지 않았으면 하는 소망을 갖고 있죠. 그럴 때 오늘의 문법을 사용해서 이번 시험이 안 어려웠으면 좋겠어요 라고 할 수 있습니다. Then you have to get good grades in this exam. So you have a wish that this exam is not difficult, right? When that happens, using today's grammar, you can say, I hope this exam is not difficult.
다음 문제 볼게요. 친한 친구가 다음 달에 유학을 간대요. 너무 슬퍼요. 친구가 유학을 빈칸.
빈칸에는 어떤 것이 들어가야 할까요? 5초 드릴게요.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡.
정답 고르셨나요? 네, 정답은 4번 가다입니다.
부정으로 바꿔줘야 하니까 가다에 안을 붙여서 안 가다로 바꿔줘요. 그리고 문장을 완성시키기 위해서 뭘 해야 하죠? 네, 문법을 사용해야 하죠. 친구가 유학을 가면 너무 슬프기 때문에 안 가기를 소망하고 있어요. 그래서 앗으면을 사용할 수 있지만 그 대신 면 좋겠다로도 쓸 수 있다고 했죠? 그래서 안 가면으로 빈칸을 채워줍니다. My friend is going to study abroad and very saddening, so I hope does not go. So I said that you can use as으면, but instead you could also use 면 좋겠다, right? So fill in the blanks with 안 가면. 정리해보면 친구가 유학을 안 가면 좋겠어요가 됩니다.
네, 이렇게 모든 문제를 풀어보았는데요. 모두 잘 풀어보셨나요? 문제를 풀면서 문법의 쓰임을 잘 익히셨길 바래요. 그럼 다음 시간으로 고급어휘 선생님 나와주세요.
안녕하세요.
고급어휘 선생님
김은주.
김아은입니다. 오늘은 고급어휘에 대해서 배워볼 건데요. 총 3가지 고급어휘를 배우겠습니다. 꺼리다, 개선하다, 친근하다 이렇게 3가지를 배워볼 건데요.
오늘 배울 고급 어휘를 처음에 보면은 좀 어렵지만 한 번, 2번 복습해 보시면 분명 도움이 될 거예요. 그러면 첫 번째 어휘를 보겠습니다.
오늘 배울 첫 번째 고급어휘는 꺼리다입니다. 꺼리다의 뜻은 어떤 사물이나 일을 피하거나 싫어한다입니다. The meaning of 꺼리다 is to avoid or dislike certain things. 제가 단어를 읽어볼 테니 따라해 주세요. Repeat after me. 꺼리다, 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 꺼리다. 네, 아주 잘하셨어요.
그러면 이제 예시 문장을 같이 볼게요. 나는 잘 모르는 사람과 이야기하는 것을 꺼린다. I hate talking to people I don't know very well. 이 문장에서 꺼린다 라는 표현이 보이는데요. 꺼리다 라는 말이 피하다, 싫어하다 라는 뜻이라고 했죠? 그러면 이 문장은 나도 잘 모르는 사람과 이야기하는 것을 싫어하고 안 하려고 한다가 됩니다. 이해가 되시나요? 다른 예시 문장도 같이 볼게요.
영수는 꺼리는 음식이 많다. 영수 is reluctant to eat a lot of food. 여기 문장에서도 영수는 꺼리는 음식이 많다라고 하면서 꺼리다를 썼네요. 단어의 뜻을 풀어서 사용해보면 영수는 싫어하고 안 먹고 싶어하는 음식이 많다가 되겠습니다. 이해되시나요? 그러면 상황극을 보면서 같이 이해해 볼게요. 우와, 바다다! 빨리 가서 수영해야지.
그래, 재밌게 놀다 와. 난 여기 있을게.
어? 근데 너는 바다에 안 들어가게?
나는 물에 들어가는 걸 좀 꺼려서. 네, 은주가 물에 들어가는 걸 싫어하고 안 들어가려고 한다는 의미로 꺼려 한다를 사용한 거 아시겠나요? 간단하게 생각하면 꺼려 하다가 싫어하다라는 의미입니다. 그러면 다음 어휘 보도록 할게요.
두 번째로 배울 어휘는 개선하다입니다. 개선하다의 뜻은 나쁜 상황이나 부족한 점을 좋게 바꾸다 라는 뜻입니다. The meaning of 개선하다 is changing a bad situation or shortcoming for the better. 같이 읽어볼게요. 개선하다, 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 개선하다. 네, 아주 잘하셨어요.
그러면 예시 문장과 함께 개선하다가 쓰이는 상황을 볼게요. 여러 문제점을 개선해서 새로운 핸드폰을 만들었습니다. I made a new phone by improving several problems. 이 문장을 보니 문제점을 개선해서 라고 하면서 개선하다 라는 어휘를 사용했네요. 개선하다의 뜻이 나쁜 것을 좋게 바꾸다 라는 뜻이라고 했죠. 그래서 이 문장은 여러 문제점을 좋게 바꿔서 새로운 핸드폰을 만들었습니다. 라는 뜻입니다. 이해되시나요? 그러면 다음 문장을 보도록 하겠습니다.
설문조사를 바탕으로 문제를 개선하겠습니다. We will improve the situation based on the survey. 이 문장을 보니 문제를 개선하겠습니다 라고 하면서 개선하다를 사용했네요. 이 단어의 뜻을 풀어서 문장을 생각해 보면 설문조사를 바탕으로 문제를 좋게 바꾸겠습니다 입니다. 이해되시나요? 상황극을 통해 한 번 더 보도록 할게요.
하은아, 오늘 내가 발표하는 거 들었어?
들었어. 지난번보다 엄청 좋아졌던데?
고마워. 다른 사람들의 발표를 보고 많이 개선해서 좋아진 것 같아. 상황극에서 B가 다른 사람들의 발표를 보면서 자신의 부족한 점을 고쳐서 개선해서 발표를 잘할 수 있었다는 거 아시겠나요?
개선하다가 나쁜 상황이나 부족한 점을 좋게 바꾸었을 때 사용하는 표현이란 것을 기억하시면 되겠습니다. 그러면 마지막 어휘를 보도록 하겠습니다.
마지막으로 배워볼 고급 어휘는 친근하다입니다. 친근하다의 뜻은 친하고 익숙하다라는 뜻입니다. The meaning of 친근하다 means friendly and familiar.
자, 같이 따라해봐요. 친근하다, 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 친근하다. 네, 정말 잘했어요.
그러면 친근하다가 문장에서 어떻게 쓰이는지 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 영수 씨는 주변 사람들과 친근하게 잘 지내요. 영수 is friendly with the people around him. 예시 문장을 읽어보니 친근하게 잘 지내요 부분에서 친근하다가 쓰였죠? 친근하다가 친하고 익숙하다라고 했으니 문장에서는 영수 씨는 주변 사람들과 친하게 잘 지내요 라는 뜻입니다. 이해되시나요? 그러면 다음 예시 문장 보도록 하겠습니다.
된장찌개는 한국인들에게 친근한 음식이에요. 된장찌개 is a familiar food of Koreans. 이 문장에서도 친근한 음식이에요 라고 하면서 친근하다 라는 표현이 사용되었죠. 친근하다의 의미를 생각하면 된장찌개는 한국인들에게 친근한 음식이에요 라는 뜻이겠네요. 친근하다, 친근하다를 많이 쓰면 이 어휘가 친근해지겠죠? 네, 그러면 상황극을 보면서 어떤 상황에서 쓰는지 볼게요.
하은아, 필통 새로 샀어?
어제 새로 샀어.
근데 그 필통 어디서 많이 본 것 같은데? 어디서 봤더라?
이거 어렸을 때 우리가 많이 보던 만화 주인공이잖아.
아, 어쩐지. 그래서 그 필통이 친근했구나. 친근하다의 뜻이 친하고 익숙하다라는 뜻이란 걸 기억해 주시면 되겠습니다. 이제 오늘 배웠던 고급 어휘를 이용한 문제풀이 시간을 가져볼게요. 그러면 첫 번째 문제를 볼게요.
친하고 익숙하다? 이 뜻을 가진 어휘가 뭐였죠? 3초 드릴게요. 3, 2, 1, 땡! 정답은 1번 친근하다입니다. 아까 전에 필통 기억하시죠? 제가 그 필통이 친근하다고 말했던 걸 기억하시면 될 것 같습니다. 그럼 두 번째 문제 보도록 하겠습니다.
어떤 사물이나 일을 싫어하고 피하다. 이 뜻을 가진 어휘는 무엇인가요? 3초 드리겠습니다. 3, 2, 1, 땡! 네, 정답은 3번 꺼리다인데요. 물에 들어가는 걸 싫어하다, 먹거리다 라고 생각하시면 되겠습니다. 그러면 마지막 문제 보도록 할게요. 나쁜 상황이나 부족한 점을 좋게 바꾸다. 3초 드릴게요. 3, 2, 1, 땡. 네, 정답은 2번 개선하다입니다. 발표를 좋게 바꿨다, 개선했다 라고 했던 상황극을 기억하시면 될 것 같습니다.
네, 오늘 배울 고급어휘가 끝이 났는데요. 좀 아시겠나요? 제가 최대한 잘 설명해 보려고 하는데 쉽지 않은 것 같아요. 그래도 이 강의를 꾸준히 들으시는 여러분들이 정말 대단합니다. 이제 총정리 시간인데요. 선생님, 나와주세요.
네, 총정리 시간입니다. 오늘 수업 잘 들으셨나요? 그럼 제가 마지막으로 정리를 하고 마무리하겠습니다. 아덧 했으면 좋겠다의 의미는 뭐였죠? 네, 바람이나 소망을 이야기할 때 사용하는 표현이라고 했죠. 그래서 예문을 보면 시원했으면 좋겠어요 라고 이번 여름이 시원하기를 소망하고 있죠. 네, 다음 예문도 볼게요. 다음 예문도 마찬가지로 좀 쉬었으면 좋겠어요. 쉬기를 원하고 소망하는 의미의 문장인 것을 알 수 있어요. 결합 형태를 볼게요. 모음 아 또는 오로 끝이 나면 아쓰면 좋겠다를 결합하고 아, 오가 아닌 나머지 모음으로 끝이 나면 어쓰면 좋겠다를 결합합니다. 마지막으로 하다로 끝나는 경우는 하다를 지우고 했으면 좋겠다를 결합합니다. 어렵지 않죠? 이렇게 의미와 형태만 잘 기억하셔도 실제 생활에서 표현하실 수 있습니다. 그럼 모두 복습하시고 연습해 보세요. 이것으로 20일간 수업을 마치겠습니다. 감사합니다. 안녕.
Hello, everyone. It's nice seeing you guys again, and I'm very thankful to be able to speak to you guys. I really enjoyed the Mind Education sessions I share with you, and I hope that they have been helpful to you. I understand that you've been attending Mind Education sessions with many other instructors, not only myself, but I really hope that these things that we talk about not only are something that are fun to learn, but also something that helps you out in the future. And so today, guys, I wanted to talk to you about conversation. And so you might be thinking, okay, that's a really interesting topic to talk about. Well, what can we talk about conversation about? And so, but actually, everyone, this is a very, very important topic, and actually it gets more and more important the more and more we think about it. As you guys were learning the world of the heart throughout the Korean camp program and also various other programs that we do, the heart, it has a special way of flowing to each other, and that happens a lot through conversation. And so when I open up, when I talk about my true self, talk about my true thoughts, that's when I'm able to actually make progress in my relationship with other people, and also kind of receive closure about the things that I have inside. For example, my worries and my fears, if I'm able to talk about them, I feel much better, right? And so that's something we all probably have experienced before. If you talk to your parents, for example, about some things you're worried about, some things that you have concerns about, or you talk about to your parents about whether you're angry or not, or maybe if you don't talk to your parents, you talk to your friends, or you talk to your friends, or you talk to anybody about how you feel, and then when we do that, even though it's hard at first, we feel better, right? We feel better. Everyone, what I want to talk about today is not just about how we feel better through conversation. I want to talk about what makes true conversation versus just superficial conversation, and why conversation is so important, and what is the barrier to conversation. And so I want to talk about these things. And even though it's a little bit hard, maybe out of order or a little disorganized, please stay with me and we'll get through this. And I believe it's going to be a very fun time we have together. So before we start, I wanted to show you a small video clip of what I found recently while I was watching YouTube. And I want to go ahead and show you this clip and see what you think about it.
Okay, Ross, I realized that you didn't expect to walk in and see that, but let me explain, okay?
We weren't doing anything.
Rach, he just saw us. But what you saw, that is the extent of it, okay? One kiss.
No, come on, that is a lie. We also kissed in Barbados.
Dude, chill! Okay, we also kissed in Barbados, but we didn't plan it, okay? And the only reason that happened was because I saw you kissing Charlie.
Yeah, you started it. I have got to chill.
Look, we probably should have talked to you about this before it ever happened, but...
Oh, we feel so terrible about this, Ross.
Yeah, but it did happen. So... Ross?
Ross? Can we just close the door? Ross, say something. Anything.
So you two are...
Yeah. Ross, this is not how we wanted you to find out about this. You have every right to go nuts.
I'm not going nuts. Do you see me going nuts?
No, but you know what I mean.
Hey. If you two are happy, then I'm happy for you. I'm fine.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm fine. Totally fine. I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine. I'm not saying I wasn't a little surprised to see you guys kissing. I mean, at first I was like, ah! But now that I've had time to absorb it, loving this,
Ross.
it's all working out. Me and Charlie and you two. You know what we should do?
Calm ourselves?
No. We should all have dinner. Yes, we'll do it tomorrow night. I'll cook.
Look, don't you think that'll be a little weird?
Weird? What? What's weird? The only thing weird would be if someone didn't like Mexican food because I'm making fajitas.
Did you guys like it? Yes, it's pretty funny, right? And so, the character was saying, I'm fine, even though he likes the girl, right? And of course, it's his friend. Ross's friend is the one that's now dating Jennifer Aniston's character. But in his heart, he feels very hurt and he feels very shocked and then maybe even betrayed, right? But when his friends come up to him and talk to him and they say, oh, are you fine? Are you fine? What does he say? I'm fine. But everyone, I saw this video. It was very funny. It was very, very funny. But the more I thought about it, I realized, wow, don't we live like that? And how many times do we go to school or we go to meet somebody and what do we say? Oh, hello, how are you? How are you doing? And what do we say back? I'm fine. But everyone, let me ask you. Out of all the times you said you're fine, were you really fine? So I don't want to make any assumptions about people, but honestly, every time you told someone you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, were you really fine? Or was there heaviness in your heart at that moment? Or was there a lot of conflict or turmoil in your heart at that moment? Everyone, for me, I'm not sure about you guys. Maybe you guys are very honest and you're able to say what your true feelings all the time. But many times I tell people I'm fine when I'm not fine, when I'm really not fine, when there's a problem or difficulty that I don't know what to do, when there's worries and concerns in my life. There's many times I'm not fine, but what do I tell people? I'm fine. I'm fine, right? It's like a default answer we throw at people. We just throw it at them, and we want to quickly pass the conversation and not even have most of the time not even have a conversation, right? But everyone, let's if you think about it, let's think about it like this. There's something called oxygen, as you all know, that we need to survive. And actually, the human brain can only live around 5 minutes without oxygen. Around the 5th minute mark, there's permanent damage to your brain if there's no oxygen, right? And so, and it's irreversible. Brain damage, once it's done, it cannot be fixed, and so it's irreversible. And so, people die usually at the 6th minute mark. So, everyone, if only if we didn't have oxygen starting now, we would be dead only 5 minutes later, right? Maybe some people even quicker than that, right? Everyone, so we know the oxygen is so important, but everyone, have you ever thought about conversation to be like oxygen for your heart? Do you ever think about conversation to be how your heart breathes, right? Of course, for example, you go to the classes, you learn new things. Have you ever tried it out for yourself? Spoke it out for yourself, tried it, right? It's a big difference when you participate and speak out and try to learn Korean words than when you just sit back and just watch the instructors, take some notes. There's a big difference. But also, everyone, the same with conversation. Conversation is the oxygen for the heart. What I mean by that is you are breathing out what? All the things in our heart, so we can do what? Accept new things from other people. So all my fears and all my distrust and all my concerns, if I'm able to talk about them, they come out of my heart. And what can come in? Hope, encouragement, inner strength, peace, stability. Right? These things can enter my heart only when I release something out. Everyone, so conversation is oxygen for your heart. But everyone, let's think about it. If you were not having honest conversations or heartfelt conversations with anybody for a long time, so what do you think the state of your heart is like then? Do you think your heart will be healthy? Do you think your heart will be doing well? Right? Do you think your heart will be good and everything's fine, and as time gets by, it works out, you feel better and you do well, and things work out more? And is that what happens? No, everyone, right? As you all know, as you all probably experienced, some people experience this a little bit, some people experience this a lot, but things do not just get better because we wait, right? Things, when we have like a conflict with somebody, just because we don't talk to them anymore, we don't see them anymore, it doesn't mean it solves the conflict, resolves anything related to that. So when we live our life, we have to realize that conversation is like oxygen for our heart. And then we have to be able to talk about things, not just I'm fine, some of the subject away. So the person that we don't want to talk to, I'm fine. I'm fine them away, so you don't have to talk to them. Not like that kind of conversation. But what's the things in your heart comes out, and the things from someone else's heart comes in. That is what I mean by true conversation and true exchange. So, but everyone, if you know about solitary confinement, so if solitary confinement is when they lock up a prisoner for a long time by themselves. And on top of that, there's no human interaction. Right? There's no human interaction. They don't get to hear anybody talk. When they are given food, it's given to them in silence. The only sounds that they probably do hear is like the guards of the prison walking, cell to cell. There's no talking, right? And so they're in solitary confinement. But everyone, the health causes of solitary confinement are very serious, right? It's very serious. Mental, there's a lot of experts coming out nowadays saying that solitary confinement could be defined as torture. Right, well, but let's think about it. Of course, we know solitary confinement is bad, but all you're doing is just being stuck in a room by yourself, right? Is that you're not being tortured? It's not like people are like waterboarding you or zapping you with electricity, right? It's not like that kind of torture. And so it's very interesting why people consider solitary confinement to be torture, but a lot of experts are coming out and saying that in terms of mental health, it's very bad for you. And actually, the damages it can cause to someone's psyche or to their emotional well-being is very serious. Like, for example, so people have experienced in the past, through solitary confinement, anxiety, and then heightened anger, violent thoughts, nightmares, sweaty hands, and their heart beating irregularly, and then also insomnia, which basically is being unable to sleep at night. So everyone, there's a lot of stories about how when prisoners are in solitary confinement, they start imagining things that are not there, right? They start having nightmares, imagining things that are not there, and then they, they start seeing things that are not there. They start hallucinating, and their mind starts to play tricks on them. But everyone, you might hear this and be like, okay, I guess that's so, but let's think about it again. Solitary confinement is only you just being by yourself. That's it, right? But what happens when people are by themselves for a long time is a lot of problems, a lot of issues. And so everyone, the reason why I'm talking about solitary confinement is emphasize how important our conversation is with other people. A lot of people are isolated. And so, excuse me, a lot of people are isolated. A lot of people do not have a trusted person to talk to, which is very sad. But everyone, one of the main point of today's talk is to point out one of the biggest factors that prevents us from having a conversation. Everyone, let's think about it. Let me ask you a question. What do you think is the biggest factor that prevents you from having a conversation? Having true conversation, getting to know someone truly. And if I can offer a suggestion, it would be your preference. All right, so I'm not sure if you know this movie. This is from High School Musical, but I think the movie came out, oh my gosh, a long time ago. Maybe even before some of you guys were born, right? It's not that old of a movie, but then again, time is passing by very fast, and like kids who are born in like 2000s are now adults. And so, maybe you guys were born around the time this movie came out. And I apologize if I'm incorrect, but maybe this came out around like 2009 or 2003. Sorry, I don't know the details. But this is called High School Musical. It's a Disney film. And there's a scene in the movie where they're in the cafeteria, and it's a musical, right? And then there's groups of students, and I'm sure all of this is apparent at your high school as well, or even your middle school. So there's like the jocks, right, the athletes, and then there's in another table there's the nerds and the geeks, and at the other table it's like the singers and the artsy people who love the stage and drama, things like that, and they're all sitting according to their interests, right? And then this young man, he's a really good basketball player, but he started singing, and he said, like, I actually love cooking. I love cooking, so I want to be able to cook And he's telling his jock friends, his athletic friends this, and what do they say? No, no, no. Stick to the status quo. Right? So that's I would love to try to sing it for you, but then guys might all leave the Zoom meeting, so I will not sing it. But basically, the lyrics go, no, 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 stick to what you know, stick to the status quo. Because what that means is the status quo means stick to what society tells you who you are, right? So if you're a jock, just be good at basketball, just be, a cool act cool, act like you have it figured out. And, don't show all the people that you like cooking. That's lame. You're a cool, basketball player. Why would you tell other people that you cook? That's lame, right? So they would they're poking fun. They're not poking fun at him, but they're more like chastising him. Yeah, why? Don't tell people that you love to cook. You have to protect your reputation, right? But everyone, the reason why I'm talking about this is because everybody has their preferences, right? The jocks only stick with the jocks, and the people that loves to study, the people that are smart, you might consider them the smart kids at school. They only hang out with who? All the smart kids. Oh, I love to study with vocab cards, or maybe people who love video games. They hang out with people that love video games, right? So everybody hangs out with people who are like them. In other words, people who they like, right? People who get them. People who are easy to talk to. But everyone, this is one of the biggest problems in terms of conversation. Everyone, so when you're just in a regular setting, how many people do you actually like, right? How many people do you get along with? Or how many people did you open up and talk to? Automatically we have assumptions about people. Oh, I don't like this person's attitude. I don't like that person's personality. I don't like this person because of this. I don't like how they dress, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But everyone, these preferences, this mindset of I want to open my heart to who I want to open my heart to. And if I don't like you, I don't like you. And if I like you, I like you. That is one of the biggest barriers to conversation. Let's think about it. Why is it like that? Because everybody has a deeper flavor to them, a deeper persona to them. But if we just judge people at face value, will we ever try to talk to them or try to open our heart to them to get to know them? The only way for us to get to know someone is to do what? Open up in conversation, right? But what's the problem? I don't like you because you're like this, and you don't like me because I'm like that. So let's not ever talk. And then let me get along with only people that are like me, people that understand me, people I'm comfortable with. I just want to be with my friends that I know. I don't want to be with anybody who says something that I don't like. I don't be with anybody who doesn't understand me. You have to understand me for me to have a conversation with you. Everyone, this is so bad. And this is why there's so much distrust in society. So everyone, do you know who these people are? Of course you do. This is on the left is Tony Stark, on the right is Steve Rogers, aka Iron Man and Captain America. Everyone, so I apologize if this is a really bad example, but couldn't come up with anything to talk about. But if you watch the movie, the Marvel movies, right? These characters are portrayed in a very interesting way. And it's because they are very different from each other, personality-wise, and in terms of philosophy, they are very different. So, for example, one time they were arguing, and then Tony Stark, Iron Man, said, "Hey, the Avengers needs to work with the governments of different countries, right? We must work together, and so we understand each other." But then Captain America says, no, we can't work together with these governments because these governments will try to use us for their own personal gain and their own benefit, right? And they had a big argument, and they became a big fight, and then their friendship broke, right? But let's think about it. Even though they have differences, right? Even though they have differences, at the end of the day, when they come together, and when they come have true fellowship, I'm not sure you call this fellowship, but if you get what I'm saying, right? True exchange, there is so much more benefit that comes from that, right? You know, as you guys probably saw the last movie in the series, right? They work together to fight the main bad guy, Thanos, right? And so everyone, of course, this you know, you might not like Marvel, or you might think this is a very childish example, but what I wanted to say was, you know, there's people we don't get along with, right? There's people that at first we don't really get, but that doesn't mean you can't work together. That doesn't mean you can't have a conversation with them. That doesn't mean you have to cut them off and banish them from your hearts. Right? Just like how, you know, these people put their differences aside, and their differences actually made them a really good team, right? In the same way, there's so many people in our life that we cut off and we, you know, count off and say, I don't want to talk to you ever again, and, you know, kind of brush them off. But those people become a great benefit to us. Everyone. So lastly, I would like to talk about my own personal story. So there's me in the middle. I don't know why my pants are rolled up. So maybe it was because it was hot. And this is a picture of my wife's siblings and also my siblings. So my wife has a brother and a sister, and then I have one brother and 3 sisters. And so 2 of my sisters were there. And I want to talk to you about my relationship with my youngest sister. Her name is Priscilla. So me and Priscilla, we actually don't get along that well, to be honest. We don't get along, and much of it's my fault, to be honest. You know, much of it, you know, there's many expectations I had towards her. I wanted her to be academically successful, and I wanted her to, you know, be a certain way because I felt like it would help her out in life if she was a certain way. And I don't want to get into too much of the details, but, you know, I wanted her to study well, wanted her to, you know, make right decisions, and then we will have a lot of conflict about our differences of opinion. Right, we'll have a lot of conflict about that. But one time, my sister went to a trip to Korea, right? And then she brought back stickers for me. It's a, you know, Zootopia, right? The movie, the Disney movie, the Zootopia. And so she brought back these name stickers. So all these stickers had my name on it. So the reason why these name stickers are so important is because you could put them on your items. And so if someone finds them, your name is on it, so they can return it to you. And she brought me back these stickers, but when I was thinking about it, I was very thankful because even though we have our differences, even though we, you know, many times we argue and we don't get along, and her personality is similar to mine, and so I think but you would think that we'll get along if our personalities are similar, but that actually causes conflict. And so we argue each other, and we always are arguing and having, you know, throwing fits and things like that. But when I received those stickers from her, I was very thankful, right? And I could feel her heart, right? I could feel that, even though I'm a very, you know, not the greatest brother, you know, not the ideal brother, that she still appreciates me, and then I also appreciate her, right? So everyone, like, if we think about it, there's so many people in our life that we not only had this superficial relationship with. We argue yesterday. I never want to talk to them ever again. I don't want to talk to them. No, our relationships are so much deeper than that. But the problem is, what happens is people are weak-hearted. People don't want to challenge themselves or face the burden of opening up and talking. And because of that, we become more isolated, and then fall deeper and deeper inside of ourselves. Our heart rots away without conversation. And what the thing is, what stops conversation is, you know, my own preferences, my own thoughts, my own heart, my own weak heart being unable to open up towards other people. So everyone, you all know the benefits of conversation before I even talked about it today. But everyone, if we really think about it, when I open my heart and talk freely and get to know people that I didn't know I would like before, there's so much joy that comes from that, and so much happiness that comes from that. So I really hope that you guys can live experiencing that kind of happiness in your life. Thank you. I went over time. I'm sorry, I always go over time, but really appreciate how you guys are staying with the Korean program. Really hope to meet you all one day in person, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.